Hi, and welcome back to I'm a Happy Enchilada. And thanks for tuning us in. I'm Don Culver, and I'll be your host. And you know, there are so many things that can hold us back in life, and things all the way back into our childhood can be holding us back the most and causing some of the most destructive, self-defeating behaviors to persist in our lives even today. Now, if you have not yet summoned the courage to take an honest and unvarnished look into your life to see what things you may still be carrying with you today that happened 10, 20, even 30 years ago or more, then today is a good day to begin to unpack that emotional bag, or suitcase if it is, and start to put the past into the past and begin to live fully in the present and prepare to live a life that is happy, joyous, and free. So join us as we take a deep dive into putting the past into the past once and for all. So let's start by answering some questions about living in the past, shall we? Well, first, why should I leave the past in the past, you may ask? Living in the past allows old doors to stay open and new doors to remain shut. If you can truly never let go of what's already done, then you aren't allowing yourself to have a better present or a better future. What we deserve and truly desire in this life is true happiness. Why can't we let go of the past? Well, most people can't let go of the past because they don't appreciate the present. Reframing our relationship with the past requires us to stop thinking of how things should be and accept them for what they are. As the Dalai Lama said, attachment is the origin, the root of suffering. Hence, it is the cause of suffering. Well, so why am I so stuck in the past? Well, when we are not living in the moment, we are reliving the past or fearful of what might happen in the future. Our experiences also shape our lives about ourselves. We like to feel like we're in control. So when something happens that's outside of our control, it's often easier to blame ourselves. Should we forget the past? There are valuable lessons to be learned from the past, and those who choose to ask the right questions about their past are most prepared to live life to the fullest in the present. Now, those are some good questions, and the answers make it easier for all of us to have a better understanding of the part the past can play in our current lives. Don't you think? I sure do. Well, let's continue. So now, let's look at what is emotional abuse in a parent or caregiver. Well, emotional abuse includes behaviors by caregivers that includes verbal and emotional assault, such as continually criticizing, humiliating, belittling, or berating a child, as well as isolating, ignoring, or rejecting a child. Next, let's look at some signs of emotional suffering. First, personality change in a way that seems different for that person. Agitation or displaying anger, anxiety, or moodiness. Withdrawal or isolation from others. Poor self-care, and perhaps engaging in risky behavior. Hopelessness, or feelings of being overwhelmed and worthless. And lastly, do you know if you have been traumatized? Well, you may be suffering from severe fear, anxiety, or depression, unable to form close, satisfying relationships, experiencing terrifying memories, nightmares, or flashbacks, avoiding more and more anything that reminds you of the trauma. So think about that. Now, we've talked about the stages of healing here on Enchilada several times. And I want to repeat them if you don't mind. First stage is grief and denial, then comes anger, then bargaining, then depression, finally acceptance. Well, you may not experience them in that exact order. It's different for everybody, but more than likely, you will experience them all as you recover. So now, let's look at some ways to begin to set ourselves free from the past and put the past in the past finally, and recognize that this process of putting the past into the past will take time to accomplish, and be willing to go slow as you work through whatever you find in front of you that needs your attention. Now, please be patient and fearless as you move along, and don't give up, okay? Now, let's go on the sunny side of the street and look at ways to set ourselves free, shall we? Oh, yeah. Well, let's start with create a positive mantra to counter painful thoughts. Create physical distance. Practice mindfulness. Be gentle with yourself. Allow the negative emotions to flow. Accept that the other person may never apologize. Practice self-care. Those are all goods to start with, and here's some more suggestions. Let go of people who drain you. Forgive others for wrongs committed against you. Let go of old habits and routines that hold you back. Let go of limiting beliefs about not being good enough. Oh, 10-4 on that. Lastly, I'm going to give you a simple list of easy steps to self-healing that I especially loved, and here it is. Accept yourself. Don't give up on what's important to you. Forgive yourself. Don't try to impress others. Listen to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Trust yourself. Understand yourself. Well, I left out a lot of great suggestions for putting the past into the past today. There just wasn't time, and there's so many great ones. So, as usual, take what you like and leave the rest, and maybe go online to see what else is of interest to you, or answer any lingering questions you might have on this. And you might also consider getting some therapy if you want to really jumpstart the process of healing in your life. Now, I've heard it said that leaving the past in the past is undeniably one of the best choices you could ever make. Well, that's all I've got. So until next time, God bless and be a happy enchilada. Bye.